Right.
It's not her business.
Right.
And I want to know, and well, we both know, you and I, we both know where she got her information.
Oh, absolutely.
But that needs to stop.
Oh, agreed. And I talked to her about it today.
And what she want to do.
She said she would cut it back,
Okay.
or
How we doing? Another day.
Chief now?
Was it?
I'm the chief now?
he said, how you doing, chief?
That's how you do it. Or I said, sir, maybe the chief. All right. You look like a chief.
I feel like a chief.
There you go. You just got the hands on it. There we go. Oh,
See, you're the one guy with the tripod. Everybody holds their phone, they don't get a tripod.
Makes you dizzy.
Right? Like, come on, guys, be better. What are you laughing to people?
I'm gonna go upstairs.
What's up? I know. Tell me how handsome I am.
All right.
Hi. Yeah.
Did you folks down there?
How you doing? Good. I guess clear the snow out there, drive by with you tonight. What you? Hey, my friend,
Luce, how we doing today? Oh, there you go. You finally got a tripod?
Yeah, so I can do a full screen, recording, a full screen instead, you know.
Perfect. You needed that.
Look at you home.
For today. Or today, maybe.
I went to YouTube today to see how they could give me the privilege to go live from YouTube. So waiting for them to respond. But that's really better. If I could work at YouTube, it's a way better. If you watch a review. You know, I have a friend stuck at Dubai.
Oh, nice.
I said, think that you know they were 2 hotels away when that happened.
I couldn't make They still haven't contacted, what's his name? That lives down the road from me. I'm sure you got it.
Yeah, and you're getting close, right?
They passed the budget. So it's actually.
Yeah, I think that was your assistant.
I know, I looked under the agenda, there's no agenda posted. When you see the, what is it, free year for when we have meetings, the actual year is 2025.
That's a mistake. That's like,
What the responsibilities are.
Never seen, oh, what?
Take a handful, Louis, take a handful. So for one, take a handful first. Are you loud?
I think that's a typo because it has
Additional copies, anyone want a copy?
Thank you, sir. Tomorrow, I'm gonna message you. My friend's gonna, he's gonna, tell me a camera. I wanna know if it's good enough to,
Oh, just straight?
if I tell you the model number, you tell me it's good enough.
Yeah, let me,
You think
shoot me a
it's good?
message. That makes the difference. That microphone, that's what does the difference right there. Camera, that's better than this as far as sound. That makes a world of difference.
No, he
So-
have a camera that takes the circle of the picture perfect
Yeah,
of the moon.
yeah, this will do that, but
Huh?
any of these will do that, but if you have a good lens. Yeah, it should be. Can you check it? Can you check it? It should be. Just let me know.
They said if I take a,
Not sure. I'll take one.
if it's to get perfect quality, it would take you a minute. Just set it up, take a picture of the moon.
Oh, yeah.
That's what it said, the camera.
Yeah,
Just give the camera at least a minute
Yeah, it takes a lot of work.
for auto focus.
Yeah.
I guess he's on an asteroid past the moon. That's it, asteroid past it.
All right. I gotta be quiet time.
Yeah. Yeah, get people who are well with that. Great. sir.
Good. This is online.
I'll give you a ride.
Okay.
I'll give you a ride. If you're done. Is this all one? Yeah. Just the budget's in there, right? Budget, have for personnel. What about the taxes? That's the budget. That's the whole thing.
Most big companies do nowadays. I'll look at mine, but I'll put ours half hour, 45 minutes an hour. I think we'll sign that. We get money from the tax, from this county. Okay. You do me a favor, send me that, see, the website right now, or email them. No, we haven't said that, we've got to do it someplace else in the future.
Now that was officially signed during the meeting. No, it was not it was not properly assigned. Say that was allowed to happen.
Yeah.
We'll have to put it in.
I think you understand that we assigned that, that it wasn't really all.
Just in the one side, it doesn't mean it doesn't break.
Oh, these are.
Good question. So Parker and Kay went down and down. You did your best to make sure they look cheap.
No, they're not.
You were doing coffee.
Give that another 5 minutes, everybody. Take one.
you been home? They called you back.
No. Yeah, I'm on 1 hour. So this range. It's been,
So they called two of my buddies back. They're retired, they called them back. Bringing some people back. But it's good thing
it looks worse.
It's good. It's well. You should go there. I think you guys did for the first time in a long time. Yeah. It's a hard thing here. They're running. I'm trying to get people started. That's only people who I just happened to see the meeting. I was in Florida 2 months ago. And I actually turned on the TV and it said live, and I hit the button. Technology stuff. And I got to watch it from Florida. It was like real interesting. It's like entertaining. Actually, my son came out in the back and actually sat down and watched it with me. Is it better to have this stuff on TV?
Yeah.
Marketing them without board approval.
No, it has nothing to do with late payments or anything like that. $20,000, that's not what it is.
Say it's good for the answers, so you go over and have it on the board, not let it.
And I have that research and I've got one for every month. That's all. When it's out of the screen. That's
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for your patience.
and their bills don't state anything.
Good evening, everyone. Hey, Rita, you got any of those famous peppermints?
I got one.
Okay, we're going to call the March 4th meeting of the Nahat Fire District to order. The agenda for this meeting, the Board of Fire Commissioners and resolution linked to this agenda reflect the agenda and proposed resolution to the extent known at the time of posting pursuant to NJSA 10:4-8, parentheses B. The agenda resolutions are tentative. The agenda is subject to amendment, additions, or deletions prior to the meeting pursuant to board policies and procedures. And inquiries reach out to 609-518-8911. Cell phone use is prohibited during the meeting. The New River Open Public Meetings Law, NJSA 10:4-6, was enacted to ensure the right of the public to have advance notice of and attend meetings of the public body or any business affecting interest is discussed or acted upon. In accordance with this provision of the Act, the Board of Fire Commissioners Fire District Number 1, Township Mount Holly, has caused notice of meeting to be published, having date, time, and agenda to the extent known thereof, posted on the website, and we also posted the formal action may be taken. We will call the roll, and as amended, the announcement order. Mr. Commissioner Gasper?
Here.
Mr. Lowe?
Here.
Vice Chair Saltier?
Here.
Commissioner Shepherd?
Here.
And Chairman Beasley. We're going to do a pledge of allegiance and a moment of silence, but when we do that, you may or may not have heard on the news that some firefighters in Philadelphia were seriously injured today in fire, or were not quite critical, but they're in serious condition. So in a moment of silence, please remember those individuals. We'll stand for pledge of allegiance.
To the flag, United States of America, to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, we have two proclamations tonight. The first is honoring for life service and the ultimate sacrifice of Howard Bennett. I'm just going to read it. Whereas Howard Bennett devoted more than 2 decades of his life to serving as a firefighter with the Camden Fire Department, greatly protecting the residents of Camden, New Jersey, and faithfully answering the call to serve whenever and wherever duty required. And just I'll stop there for a second. Those of you who may or may not know that was the Camden firefighters that died 2 weeks ago, or something in the Delaware, went under the ice, unfortunately. Whereas through this distinguished career, firefighter Bennett exemplified the highest traditions of the fire service, demonstrating bravery, professionalism, and unwavering commitment to safeguarding life and property while earning the respect and admiration of his fellow firefighters and the community he proudly served. And whereas, in addition to responding to the emergencies throughout the city of Camden, firefighter Bennett took part in special operations, including service aboard the department's fireboat, ensuring protection along the city's waterfront and the Delaware River, further reflecting his dedication to all aspects of public safety. And whereas February 5th, 2026, while conducting routine maintenance operations on a fireboat near the Freedom Morning Activity in Camden, firefighter Bennett fell into the water during the course of his duties, and despite the immediate efforts of the fellow firefighters and first responders, tragically succumbed after being submerged in troubled waters. Whereas firefighter Bennett gave his life in one of the duty, making the ultimate sacrifice and faithful service to his community, embodying the selflessness and courage that define the fire service and remind us all the inherent risks borne daily by those who wear the uniform. And whereas his life and service stand as a solid testament to the bravery of all firefighters who place themselves in harm's way to protect others and its legacy will continue to inspire members of the fire service to New Jersey and beyond. Now, therefore, be it proclaimed that the Board of Fire Commissioners of Mount Holly Fire District Number 1 hereby honors and remembers firefighter Howard Bennett for his extraordinary dedication, steadfast commitment, and ultimate sacrifice in line of duty. And be it further proclaimed that we extend our deepest condolences and heartfelt prayers to his family, friends, and brothers and sisters of the Denver Fire Department, and in spite of their service and sacrifice might be forgotten. Adopted this fourth day of March 2026, and all the proclamation, second proclamation, proclamation honoring Fire Chief Sean Bozar, I believe from Kingsport. Those of you who don't know, we've got the St. Patrick's Day Parade coming up in Mount Holly. If you haven't been, it's a great event. Make sure you attend. But he is the Grand Marshal of this year's parade. Again, I'm going to read a brief proclamation. Proclamation honoring Fire Chief Sean Bozar, Grand Marshal of the 2026 Burlington County St. Patrick's Parade, and recognizing fire service. Whereas Burlington County St. Patrick's Parade has brought the community together on the streets of Mount Holly for more than 20 years, celebrating Irish heritage, culture, and the spirit of community. And whereas each year the parade committee selected Grand Marshal to lead the procession in recognition of his civil service, dedication, and commitment to the community, while also highlighting a meaningful annual theme. And whereas Fire Chief Sean Bozar has been selected as Grand Marshal of the 2026 Burlington County St. Patrick's Day Parade in recognition of his more than 30 years of dedicated service as a volunteer firefighter and his leadership as Chief of the Kingsport Fire Department since 2020. Whereas Chief Bozar has demonstrated unwavering commitment, courage, and enthusiasm in serving and protecting the residents of our community, and whereas the Bozar family has a proud and long-standing legacy in fire service in Mount Holly, with several family members having served honorably as firefighters and chiefs of the Remedied Fire Company, and whereas the theme of the 2020 parade, Thank you. Naval for Men of Fire honors the proud tradition of Irish firefighters and recognizes all men and women of the fire service who selflessly run towards danger to safeguard their friends, neighbors, and fellow citizens. Whereas Mount Holly has long stood at the forefront of fire protection with the fire protection program and protecting residents for nearly 275 years since before the founding of our nation, and recognized as the oldest continuously operating volunteer fire company in the United States. And whereas it is fitting and proper to honor Chief Bozar and all firefighters, past and present, whose courage and sacrifice have strengthened and protected our community through generations. Now, therefore, be it proclaimed that the Board of Fire Commissioners of Mount Holly Fire District Number 1 does hereby honor Fire Chief Sean upon his selection as Grand Marshal of 2026 Burlington County St. Patrick's Parade, and proudly recognizes all members of the fire service for their dedication, bravery, and steadfast commitment to the safety of our community and our nation. Adopted this fourth day of March 2026. Again, all fire commissioners. And I guess it gives us a moment to reflect and hopefully thank our own fire people. It's a tough job to do. In a lot of cases, volunteer. They go out of their way to help protect and serve the community. We can't thank them enough. So, all those present, thank you. Okay, we come to the public portion of our agenda. The public comment portion of the meeting is to allow the public to bring their concerns or comments to the board. The board will respect the public time by refraining from any comments until the speaker is finished. It should be noted that the public comment portion of the meeting is not constructed as a question and answer session. The member of the public has questions and an appointment can be made with the appropriate personnel. We ask the public state their full name and address for the record and keep their comments in 3 minutes. Members of the public are only allowed to speak once. The public portion is not for arguing, insulting, speaking out of turn, screaming from the audience, insulting staff or board members, or insidious riotous behavior. We would be asked to leave as stated in Resolution 2025-011 that was passed in March of 2025. All right, so having that, we're gonna start on my right, your left. So first one is,
So the reason, and it's super cool, because it's 98 level strong. I just want to know how is everybody doing today? First is, when are you going through the next, how you put a fire? I saw the training on the fire station, website. Just a training for.
I know, like helping citizens try to like put out fires or teaching them how to put out fires. I don't know if you have any,
When's the next one? I would like to be there,
was it October? That's a good question, Lois. We should probably do that more frequently. I'll talk to the chief about it.
And the second question, where is our chief at? If you remind me asking,
I'm sorry,
where is the chief at?
he's in the audience. I'm sure he's gonna come up
Oh, okay.
momentarily.
Oh, okay, I'm just curious. I had two questions in budget list, right here. There's a list right here, two questions.
Yep.
The fucking case, why so much 10,000?
That's, it's a matter of personnel investigation.
Okay.
That the commissioners, before I was on board, they engaged them to do some investigation work and had to go for the investigation.
Okay, now.
Yeah,
And the screening, is that much?
which one?
The screening for vacation party screening, is that much over $1,000?
Well, we're gonna ask, obviously, it's something that the board is gonna discuss, that and I too have some questions on that one, so that's a discussion we will have here briefly.
And that question is this, is someone able to purchase an item, for the fire station, if they can't use the fire station fund, if they use their own fund, they will get reimbursed?
It was a reimbursable expense.
Huh? Oh, okay. And, we asked our special guest to come in the next meeting, he's current commissioner for Carrier, asked him to come after gas and to see, what's the difference between, my colleague in Carrier and then, the proposed, fire commissioner.
I'm sorry, who?
I think Ronnie, he's a fire commissioner for Carrier.
And he's coming with you as an invited?
No, the actors to come by, yeah, to see, what's the difference?
Why is it?
Yeah, acting, I know him for several years. And I said, you should come by here, tell them your opinion, And the last question is, how can you YouTube videos like me or him to my high site? How can we upload that video, full contact, 4K? You make some kind of illusion or like a.
That would have to be a policy discussion that we would have to have. Yeah, I don't know if we want to upload outside videos to our website.
No confidence in for you.
No, it would be a policy, something we haven't done, it would be a policy decision we would have to discuss.
Can you, in the future, can you make a policy or a movement? I would like to see, I'll go with.
Again, that would have to be a discussion with us.
Okay, and thank you, having us together.
Thank you.
I'd like to remind the commissioner that if you wanted to say something, please turn on your mic and speak it out loud and not overtalk the audience. Thank you.
Jeff Evers, Meyer, 203 Broad Street. I'm looking at the committees and it seems building and ground.
I'm sorry, Jeff, you're using what?
Yeah, microphone. Yeah, microphone. All right, can we turn it on? Jeff Evers, Meyer, 203 Broad Street. I'm looking at the committees and now for the fire commission, it said building and grounds, it's got Shepherd and Load. And it said personnel and policies, nothing. Who's in charge of personnel and policies right now?
Right now, we don't have a full committee there.
So there's nothing under these other things, so they're just vacant. So
I'm sorry, Jeff?
there's nothing under any of these committees with any name except for Shepherd, according to the website. So just-
I'll have to look at the website, I don't know if the website's been updated.
I see we're doing
Committees,
something.
so you're saying the committee's on the website?
Well, it says personnel policies is blank.
Mr. Eversmeyer, during the reorg meeting, the chairman did not appropriately assign any of the committees, maybe just the buildings and grounds, as well as we are still without a secretary. So that's why it might be like that.
I respect your opinion, Ms. Shepherd, but I would disagree with it.
Okay, anyway.
I have recording of that meeting. We can go through it separately together.
That'd be great.
Great. Okay. The resolution for shared services with ECM for technology, seems like there's a lot of questions that a couple commissioners would love to access that. And I'm wondering if it's in our new agreement that if one of the commissioners has a question, they can go to technology, go to ECM and get the information they're looking for.
I will give out the email address, anybody can email, we have one contact, at the ECM that
Right.
controls it, and, anybody free to email.
Actually, Mr. Chairman Thiessen, the day you left early for vacation, me and Commissioner Loeb had questions about the shared service agreement because we wanted to be able to contact HM Technology personally if we had any questions or needed something. We were told specifically that we are not to contact them and only get responses from them if we put in a help ticket. And that is all, and then it was not passed.
So maybe we can.
Wasn't aware of that.
Yeah, we were denied access to contact our liaison directly for anything that we might need, and told that our concerns could be addressed through a help ticket, and then ultimately that resolution failed at that meeting. So, if we're gonna do this again, I'd like to amend that, but we'll get.
I think that's really important because there's 5 commissioners. There's 5 commissioners, and I think they should all get access to access. The question should be just 1 or 2 people. Everyone's out to do. And then the contract for auditing services, was this without the bid or is this the same? with auditing
Contract for what?
Auditing services?
No, it's below the threshold for no one.
I always have problems with that stuff because I just don't feel comfortable just picking somebody because we know them or did business with them. I always think it should be put out to bid and the best company should work for us. So that's my question. One other thing, I know I'm running out of time. I did also that Jason Carty thing, it was $1,818, but then it said County of Burlington, Courier Post, Gannett Legal, Highway Tire. Was that all part of the Jason Carty global training thing?
No.
They were all something separate after that. And then the other question, I had PSE&G was $8,000 some odd dollars for what? Why was improvement 10 only $154 and relief was $8,000?
Jeff, as I'm sure you're aware, many people in New Jersey are experiencing an incredible influx on their expenditures for PSE&G.
Right.
It is my limited understanding that is as the bill stands. We don't utilize the property at good intent, so obviously the electric and gas would be minimal by comparison to the consumption here.
Right.
There is, to my knowledge, and you'll forgive me, I haven't had an opportunity to dig very deeply in this. The New Jersey legislature is slated to begin considering legislation that would allow volunteer fire organizations to pay a truncated bill. So I'm very hopeful that that will move forward. If I have more information or when more information becomes available, I'll be sharing that on my fire commissioner Facebook page. So do keep your eye out there. And if anybody has any information on it, please feel free to message me there or at rlog@mounthollyfire.org.
Okay. Well, it just seemed like relief. That's what's up on garbage. Not as good extent.
Good intent is,
Yeah.
yeah.
It seems like it's quite large. Of course, I'm in the same kind of buildings as everybody else. So I guess that's the way it is. Again, I think we need to fill these commission posts. There's different posts that we have, and people are responsible for doing that job. So hopefully we can fill them soon. We get them from here. We get legal advice. I'm missing that. And I guess our fire chief is around. Coming back, you know.
Thanks, Jeff.
Stone Railway, 114 Branch Street. Couple questions on the itemized list here under the vendors. Is Jason Carty still suspended, by the way?
Yes, it is.
He's still in the training. So that,
Administrative leave officially.
okay. Was the training approved prior to his suspension?
I'll just say, I have a lot of questions on that myself. I'm gonna vote, I'm gonna ask that that be tabled until we get further information.
Are there other instances that are similar training reimbursements?
We do pay for other training for firefighters in general terms.
Is the training still? Can't remember. Okay, never mind. So for Verizon, communications, 209.49 and 218.65 respectively. Are these phone bills for town business or personal use?
I'm sorry, what was the question?
Is it for
Rita
town?
can correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe that the Verizon is the radios.
I think one of them is.
Verizon cell phones.
Right.
Well, I think that T-Mobile is our cell phone provider.
Oh, right.
If I, again, Rita can correct me because she would have more insight and intimate knowledge of this than I do. But I have questioned that Verizon bill as well, and the answer that I recall getting is that it was some sort of radio communication for the firefighters and the line officers.
Thank you for that. For the paper reimbursement, is this a one-time reimbursement or a regular order?
It was one time, we were literally out of paper. Nicole was kind enough to go to Staples and buy a case.
Are there any other instances of her with the reimbursements?
Ever?
Ever?
I'm sure there are.
Well, so the amount of that amount is just for paper?
Correct.
Is that in line with how much, I don't know, was it a ream of paper or was it?
I believe it was a case of paper.
Cases. And lastly, some small housekeeping. Have you contacted Gary Bratz yet for his volunteer services for reviewing accounts?
I have not.
Okay, and other things, you understand your name is still listed on the website as chairwoman? I know it's very low key, but whatever. Let me know. And the notice of meeting still has an incorrect year, and the agendas are not posted online. That's it.
I'll make a note of that, thank you. Thanks.
Turn on your mics, please.
So he should be working.
Okay, anybody else in that row? Same row? Hearing none? Next?
Dick Raleigh, 25 Broad Street. How you doing? You okay? Good.
That's still gonna be.
All right. So I heard earlier that this is the oldest volunteer firehouse in existence in America. Correct?
Correct.
I heard that right?
Yes.
So if it turned into a paid firehouse, would we still be the oldest volunteer firehouse in existence in America if it was paid?
Good question.
No.
Well, I remember there was a young man back there a few months ago, and this is not a rumor, it's a fact, said that was going to happen, and I heard that he's not here anymore, so that's good. My question is, some of these budgets, I mean, obviously, to Stone's point, you don't pay for classes for people that are on leave, right? It's not something you guys would do?
Board of the replacement board, so like. I
Right.
can't say that.
If someone's on leave, they're on leave, they don't work anymore, so they should be taking trips to do their own, right?
Let's just, hold on a second. Commissioner Saucier, if you would like to say something, please turn on your microphone. Thank you.
He is on administrative leave, therefore he is still a employee of the district.
He gets
So
paid,
nothing changes.
right, he gets
And
paid,
it's in his contract,
right. Who wrote his contract?
the lawyer.
Okay. So, case in point, so he is on administrative leave, he still gets paid, we all know that painfully. However, he doesn't work anymore.
On
So,
administrative leave.
But you don't
still
work.
on the payroll.
you're on the payroll, but you don't work anymore.
Sig, I've got a lot of questions on that.
Yeah.
that invoice.
No, it matters, because you're not working, and you shouldn't be doing anything.
Right.
So I see this budget here, is this for this month, this year, or How far does this go back?
I'm sorry, what? The bill list?
Yeah, this list here.
That's the bill list, that's a month's worth of bill.
For this month?
That is correct.
Okay. Not?
Oh, well. I'm looking at it and it says that there's POs from 2025. Is that what you're referring to?
It's my fault, I had these.
Bills received this month,
Okay. So bill received this month.
for February, obviously.
Right.
It's running March 4th through 10th.
And it was pointed out, it was the biggest item is a $10,000 bill next to PSC&G, which it was full, so that probably would make sense. You know, a long time ago, you weren't here, Jules, but about a year ago, it's not that far ago, there was, some people were worried about bringing people on board here who have a bad history of abusing people and just being all around obnoxious and dangerous to the public. And that it would cost us a lot of things, whether it's time, face, or money, and it's cost us all this. So you've been all warned once, not counting Jules because he wasn't here, but it seems like that warning came to fruition, and it's paying out in spades to our detriment. So I would, I know there's missing seats here. I don't know if it was a reshuffle, but I could implore you to come to your senses, and I'm pleading here, but please come to your senses and knock it all off.
Thank you, Chief. And maybe I've been remiss, not your sake, I'm sorry. Our chief, Mr. Mason, would you like to come up and have a seat at the, I meant to say this at the very beginning. I want to welcome back Mr. Mason. You should have been there at the beginning of the meeting. I apologize.
It's okay. Welcome back, Chief. Thank you.
All right, anybody else in that row? The safety's in. If not, next row behind that. If not, next row.
Let's not get.
Welcome, Jim.
Jim Road, 320 Washington Street. I was listening to some of the comments, and I share some of the concerns about paying classes for a part-time employee who's on leave. I'm glad to hear that you guys are able that, so you can get more.
But I can't speak for the rest of the commissioners. That my opinion is it should be tabled until we gather further information.
Okay. Thank you. In this day and age, over the last few years, more and more government and government agencies have been moving towards transparency. And it seems like this agency is moving away from transparency and trying to hide information from people. I heard the comments from Mr. Eversmeyer and then some of the discussion by commissioners, how it seems like the plan is to do a shared service agreement for email and communication services and only allowing some commissioners to access into the information, not others. I think it should be all or nothing. It's wrong to allow information for certain commissioners and not share with the public. At the last meeting, you guys passed special meeting, passed some resolutions on the budget amendment in which you incorrectly claimed in those resolutions that several things. One, that the resolution and the notice of it was posted on the door of this building as well in the lobby of the MUA building. Both are incorrect. As I was leaving that meeting, I walked around. It's clear that it wasn't there, and it's still not there to this day. And I drove on over to the MUA building, which is nice big open windows at the entrance lobby. You can see all the way through it, and took a look on the way home. It also wasn't listed there. So I was wondering, are you guys going to send a notice to state that you were incorrect in your resolution when you claimed to have put that in those places?
I'll respectfully disagree with you. I personally posted the special notice meeting at work. I personally did.
When I left the meeting, it wasn't here.
I witnessed it being present on the door prior to the meeting as well, with regard to it being posted here on the fire district premises. I can't speak to the MUA, and if that's something we've neglected, I'm certain that we can revisit it.
No, we actually, well, did I see it physically, did I physically go to the MUA and see it posted? No. did I email and speak to the executive director who's also our QPA about posting? I did.
As well as I looked at the website today, and not a single meeting minute is posted for the entire year. The agenda as of 5:15 p.m. was not listed for tonight's meeting. It might have been posted as a,
That's it, we're posting the meeting notices, it's an oversight on my part, but I will start first posting the agenda on the website also.
and I noticed the last special meeting, it was not posted on the meeting notices page of the website. It was posted on the main page, but it was below several other posts, so, that are old posts. So if you went to the main page, you saw the first post, an old post from months ago, you're not gonna think to scroll down under that, but it was actually hidden on the, on the page. And rarely are any of the meeting minutes posted on your social media page. You have plenty of other posts about historical activities, but not about actually informing the public that there's meetings. So I urge you guys to do better on that. And I want to thank you for your proclamations honoring the fallen firefighter, as well as for honoring our neighboring fire chief for his dedication and service.
Thank you. Anybody else on the right-hand side? Hearing none, we'll move over to the left. Second row. Third row. Mike?
Thank you.
For the record, Mike, name and address, please.
I'm gonna get
I know
to the
you're not
microphone.
there yet.
I want to get to the microphone so that people can hear me. My voice isn't very loud. Michael Rothmel, 33 Union Street, Mount Holly. Couple of things. One, I welcome Chief Basin back to the front table where you belong. Appreciate that. That's excellent. Number two, has the RFP for the solicitor gone out? Do we have a missing chair there?
What was the question, Mike? I'm sorry.
Has the RFP for the solicitor gone out yet?
It has. It went out, we published it, it should be in the, what's today, Wednesday? It should be in the Courier Post and the Charles County Times tomorrow. And it should be, I contacted the legal municipality, sent them a notice, asked what the process was. I gave them a purchase order. I've been out of town, so I haven't had the ability to check my emails. So I'm hoping there's an email saying they've also posted it on the legal municipality's website, seeking professionals. It's due back. I'm doing this from memory, so the date is off just a little bit. I believe it's due back on the 26th, which I think is a Thursday. We're having a public opening here at the firehouse. Obviously anybody, is willing to come for the opening. As soon as we, have many ever we get, hopefully we get several. I'm gonna make PDFs of them and get them out to, all the commissioners.
Thank you. Also, I think it's good we had a short agenda because we're paying $10,447 to Parker McKay, and I see the attorneys are back there waiting for the closed session. So good we had a short agenda, but I want to notice one thing on the agenda. After the closed session, there's just a motion to adjourn. Is there a plan to come back? I know a lot of times everybody here waits after a closed session because usually the commission does something when they come out of closed session, but on the agenda, there's nothing. So I wonder what the plan
There's
is.
a potential for action after the close, like there is after any closed session. But there is potential for action that's not definitive yet.
Okay, so I just wanted to clarify that because there's nothing on the agenda. Usually there is when they come back.
Sure.
There's something on the agenda, other than adjourn. And then, what else? And, that's about it. Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else in that row?
Hello, Tara Alster, 416 Street. In regards to minutes, actually, I've noticed it's been a few months. The minutes from 2025 are on the website, but the minutes from the September and the October regular meeting and the special meeting on the 19th that was here at 10 a.m. on Friday, those minutes have been missing for months. I was trying to look up something particular and they just haven't been there. So I don't know why they're not, but could they be uploaded onto the website?
September and October, what else?
September and October regular meeting and the September 19th meeting.
September 19th
The special
meeting.
yeah, they have not been on the website for a couple of months now. And there's some info that I will need to look at, and they weren't there, so, but all the other months are there. And if you could, I mean, you don't have to answer, just describe a little bit more of what kind of services the technology coordinator would be giving to the commission and to the firehouse.
What they do for us, basically?
Yeah.
They maintain the website, they post things on the website. We've had some recent issues, not, I wouldn't say issues, but requests for email and such. They run our email system. They've done searches, of emails for certain information.
Like Oprah?
Like an over, yeah, so if somebody does an over request for an email or something along those lines, they're the people that, satisfy that portion of the over request.
So they would be our records custodian, basically.
I'm sorry?
So they would be our records custodian, technically.
Right, records.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay, and all commissioners will have access to these services?
I'll talk to IT about it, and see how they want to handle it. I have no problem, in general terms, I have no problem with, them, any commissioner contacting, our IT support services.
Yeah, I can't imagine why not, and each one of you would do it.
Right.
All right, cool, thank you.
Thank you.
I was told specifically that he would not answer my questions and that he would only talk to a director or a chairperson. From Greg with limited responses from the chairwoman.
And I can provide backup if there's a problem.
No.
Happy Wednesday, welcome back to you. Maureen Hill Court, 117 Grand Street. First, we just want to get in right quick. On the internet, they posted something, I'm not certain if it was the firehouse or individuals, posted something about they're going to have volunteer training with some of the high schools. They're asking people to sign up, something like that. Do you see that, bro?
If you're talking about what was posted on the Mount Holly Fire
Yeah.
District page today, that's an article that was put out. I actually shared it from my fire, I shared it from my own, for my own auspices on my own fire commissioner page. And then noticed several hours later that the district Facebook page chose to share it as well.
Yeah.
It's proposed legislation that has the potential to allow New Jersey high school students to substitute health and physical education credits by joining, by partnering with fire departments to get firefighter 1 or EMT trainings and then committing themselves to a 2-year voluntary program. And it was intriguing to me particularly because we already have the junior firefighter program set up. So it was, I haven't had an opportunity to pull the bill, but it has recently been introduced in the Senate and I'm excited about the possibilities of it. I actually shared it on my page because I was hoping to get some folks who have a deeper knowledge of the field and what their feedback on it is.
It blew up, so I was like, oh wow, we're doing this already, because I hadn't heard it. Okay. So
I was as surprised as you were to see it shared to the district page. I love that it's got so much robust interest. Many of the commenters have children that age who I would love to see become involved in the legacy of the oldest existing and continuing operating volunteer fire company in the country.
Okay, so we'll have a hope and a prayer. So back on the wall back there where I'm sitting, there's a plaque up there that's dedicated to the citizens of Mount Holly, the volunteers of Mount Holly. And if this, like I said, I'm a transplant here, we're military transplant. This is supposed to be the oldest in the country, in our nation. And on that site, whoever shared it, one of the things they put on there, they put a sarcastic remark about, oh, well, you're volunteers, you make less than minimum wage. That's truly unacceptable, and it's not the level of talk that anybody who's a volunteer, that's volunteering their lives, wants to hear, because volunteers are passionate. Okay, that goes back to you guys' Facebook policy, and obviously no one is monitoring Facebook. So we're gonna leave that alone. You and I have a long history from when I first came to Mount Holly. Okay, so I guess my concern is, it's been a couple of months, and as a citizen, I come here, I have the most respect for you, but you always saying that, oh, I didn't get this done, I don't know. I mean, we're all busy. And when you started this function, you did say you were working in excess of 60 to 80 hours a week. This is a large undertaking. And I'm just asking you as a civilian standing here, military veteran, I'm confused. Because I respect you and I know you could lead this department in the right aspect, but if every time I come in here, your defeat is, I didn't get to it, I didn't get a chance to do it, where's the delegation going? I mean, you gotta start delegating some of these, some of your stuff off so you can get.
Hopefully, at some
done.
point in the relatively near future, we'll have administrative staff, having Tommy back. We had no chief, we have no, administrator. So the vast majority of the administrative duties have fallen upon me. I've never done some of them before, so there's a steep learning curve. And trying to get the information out as much as possible, trying to be as transparent as possible. And now we get Tommy back and maybe some other things solved, that'll get better. But, like you
Is
said.
there some kind of training that they can give you? Is there anything set in black and white that you could be trained for outside of the League of Municipalities, which is only once a year? Just curious, because if you're put in this position, you've never had this position. Nicole has no pass down for you. I mean, where's the pass down? There's no pass. I don't understand. We're military, so I don't understand how you have a pass down.
Right.
Okay. The other thing I don't understand is, don't get me wrong, I had my bumps in the military in 17 years. Okay. And I can remember lots of times when I was in trouble, I didn't get that niceness to go to training. I lost my opportunity and I had to sit back and wait. And if that meant someone else had to take the lead and take my lead, that was my problem because I got my own self in trouble. So I don't understand how that training, number one, if he's not running the training, and it says here Fairleigh Dickinson. So that means there's an instructor, a professor at that college, that university running this class. He's not running the class. He's a participant in the class. That's a whole nother level there. That's a whole nother level of too bad, see you next year. And you should get the money back to that particular individual. Now, if the class depends on him being there, then that's not a Fairleigh Dickinson class. What's going on then? Because you have it listed as though the college is teaching it. If the college is teaching it, anyone can go, get the education and move on. And again, if you're suspended, you don't have that right. You lost that opportunity. You get the paycheck, you lost the opportunity to advance. If someone else comes in front of you and jumps in line before you, that's your problem. I mean, that's how it is. This is, the fire service is a service, no different than the police department, no different than the military. It's a hierarchy and an order to follow. I can appreciate that you guys have never had this before, but again, in society that we live in, we are very reactive. Now, someone somewhere thought of this some time ago, whether it was our board or God knows somewhere in Newark, someone's thought of this before. There's someone who has a board who has went through this before. So it's a lot, I think we're missing a lot of networking. And again, I'm just looking in. That's a professor, that's a whole university. That means we're gonna be in a classroom.
That's not great administration, or that's not great from the director. That's the director who had handed that, right?
Can I answer that for you?
Sure.
So unfortunately, there's not enough volunteers in this town to do that. The program is open from the public and from outside the public. What we pay for is very minimal. Their certification, most of them already had, some of them had 15 plus years in the service. The only class that was really provided to them that was of significant training was a ladder course. Most
How
of
much
them,
that cost?
I don't know what it was off the top of my head, but like $1,500 for 20 some people to go through.
So 15 times 20.
No, 15 divided by, 15 times 20 or 15
Oh,
divided by
1,500
4?
for the whole course.
The whole course.
15 divided by 4.
And it was
Okay.
20 people that could take the course,
Okay.
okay? It's just like anybody that joins the fire department here. We provide your training out of a budget that we have. When you guys pay the taxes for the
Okay.
budget, we have a set portion for training. That money gets used for them.
Okay.
So you have to do that because if not, how do
Will
they
we
get
be
trained?
seeing that on the accountability? So we have individual, Gary Croft, who can do forensic accounting. We can kind of go through that.
So you don't have to because your training would come in, you'll get an invoice from the county fire academy.
Okay.
It'll come in for training. Most of the county fire academy courses are in excess of $35 to $45.
Okay.
With the exception of a couple that are probably in the $130 range for your more advanced classes. So the training at the fire academies are minimum. That's something we provide for them giving us their time.
Okay.
That's what that is.
Okay.
So it's not that they're getting certified through us and using it other places. Most of these gentlemen and ladies have already had it. They brought it here. We just allow them to further their education. I've done it for years. Most of our other members have done it for years.
Because it'd be a shame if you can't keep the money for the people within the town.
Well, it's
We should
hard
start
to keep
focusing
the,
on that.
but it's hard to keep the people, because
Okay.
people come and go. We were reluctant to have, Eric, but Eric's gonna be leaving us soon
Eric,
because he's, being deployed. So
Yeah.
what do you do in a situation like that? And unfortunately, that has been a problem that our township has had for probably 20 years now. A lot of our turnover has been military. They come in, we get them for 2 or 3, maybe 5 years, and they get shipped back out, and then we lose them. But we're glad to have them for the 5 years that they're
Absolutely.
here.
Absolutely.
If that makes more sense.
Oh, absolutely. No disagreement there. And as far as space and card administration leave, how long is that gonna last?
Until the case is settled.
And he's gonna get paid during that whole period?
That's what was set up, yes, sir.
Wow, that's quite a bit of a nice little package there. And as far as the, oh, I'm really stuck on that one. So there's no accountability for him.
That's a fair characterization. As we move through these investigations and the lawyers are doing their work, no one has proven anything one way or the other. And in a country where you're innocent until proven guilty, I think it's perfectly acceptable for everything to basically be put on pause as it is.
Well,
And I
necessarily
can imagine
agree
if
with
the shoes were on your feet, you might feel the same. I can understand your frustration. I just want to take a minute and circle real quick back to the training issue that you brought up, if you don't mind. I love that we have the opportunity to grow and educate the people who serve us. I would value more transparency in prior to us enrolling any one of these trainings. They were brought to the board for consideration and explanation as to why they would be a benefit to both the members of the district and the taxpayers. And I'm hopeful that moving forward, perhaps we can have more transparency on those things.
I would appreciate that.
I would also like to real quickly, back to somebody saying about the website and transparency and Jules just getting things under his feet. It has been my experience that he's attempted to operate in good faith and has been incredibly transparent with the things that I have requested of him.
Same here.
And made choices that make me feel like there's a potential for a collegiate relationship among this board that will bring us great success in the future.
Same way, Jules responded to an open request that I made, swiftly, I appreciate that. So I have no question there. I just, bear in mind that we have, as I said, the director of the site website, and is still promoting certain things and certain saying that he has, and we all know what it is.
And it's brought up by several people tonight.
And I got, of course, gotta bring it up one more time, that we have to have accountability for that. He can't go on doing that and ridiculing the people. That should be held accountable. He should be held accountable. A director's job is not that.
Thank you, Dave.
Appreciate it.
Anybody else on the left-hand side? Hearing none, we're going to close the public portion. All right, payment of bills. I'm sure other commissioners have questions. I have questions on 2, and I'm not saying I'm not in favor of either of them, but I need more information from them. The Fairleigh Dickinson, Mr. Cardy, one for 1818. I just need more information about the whole situation, what the course was for. Besides, all I have is an invoice with the name of the course. That's not enough information for me. So I'd like to get more information, soup to nuts on that one. Secondarily, Pipes Construction. I know Mr. Pipes. I know he's an honorable man. I'd like a further break. The amount seems large. I'd like a further breakdown. Again, not saying I'm not in favor of it. I just like a further breakdown.
Is your concern for both 404 and 40?
No, the bill, the 500 is usual fee for, building maintenance.
It's the secondary one.
It's the second one, no, it's got snow removal in there, there might have been some large project he worked on, he fixed the roof.
I share your concern with that.
Right. So I'd like to, when we vote on them.
I have one other.
Right. I just want more information. That's all. Right. And again, I know Mr. Pipes, I know he's an honorable man. I have no concerns that when he provides that information, it will be, adequate, but all I do is just put it on.
I would like some explanation. I know that we reissued the check because there was some thing about I was framed. That was the damaged frame, if I'm not speaking out of turn. Right, but they had been provided a check, neglected to cash it, and we needed to reissue it. There's a secondary expenditure listed here for Parker Art and Restoration Studios. That's also listed under building maintenance, in the amount of $1,600. That's a new expense. Can someone explain to me what that is?
That's not a big painting? Yeah.
I'm sorry, what was that?
The big painting, the old painting.
And what about it? So when did that come before the board for approval?
Speak into the mic, please.
I'm sorry.
Speak into the mic.
I believe she said the director.
She said the director approved it. Under whose authority did the director approve a $1,600 expenditure not for fire and life safety? When was this undertaken? That we're just paying it now, because the director's been on leave since November. So was it done under the auspices of an acting director or the former director, and it's only being brought to us now many months later?
Roughly what the date of the invoice was?
Well, Commissioner Gaskell, you alluded to the fact that this decision was made under the director's guidance. Do you recall when that happened? Okay, was it recently?
Mike, she said it was about a week after we moved stuff from good to 10.
Is the mic not working?
I'm sure it is.
All right.
So as the chair, did you want to address the fact that we agreed to use these, or are we just gonna be okay with everybody not participating in the
It would be ideal if people would use the microphone.
Okay, because that is the conditions of these meetings, right? This is why we made this investment, yes?
Yes.
Okay.
So can we, do you share my concerns about this? I mean, we are, it is my understanding that the district is the custodian of the relief's artifacts, right? And that we've agreed to insure them and keep them safe. Nowhere in that contract was I aware of the fact that we were financially obligated for restoration of any of those items. I was hopeful that we could get to a point where Relief Fire Company's 501c3 status could be restored and they can resume fundraising to address things like this so that it would not come from taxpayer budget, but rather from their own efforts and potentially donations to the museum from the public that would go to restoring these things. Is that not anyone else's understanding? I mean, have I been misunderstanding this all along? I know we paid the I Was Framed one because it was broken while being moved from one location to another. Another decision that was made under the director not to hire professional movers for these valuable relics, but rather to put them in a box truck and bring them over here to be moved by not professionals. And in that course, they were damaged. So that cost us money because we are obligated to ensure and maintain the safety of these items, but not to restore them to their historical significance.
Commissioner, I can reassure you, nothing was damaged in the box truck.
So.
How did we wind up with a
It was a
$1,200 payment to I Was Framed for a broken frame then?
I think the only person to answer that is Director Clark.
Are you unfamiliar? Well, you can assure me that nothing happened in the box truck. So if you're so sure it wasn't damaged in the box truck, surely you're aware of how it was damaged.
No, I'm not. It wasn't damaged in the box truck. I was there when it was put in, I was here when it was brought out. And the paintings were not damaged there. That was a painting that was in this building already.
Okay, so Commissioner Saucier, you say that it was for restoration. Was there any damage to this painting, or was this purely for aesthetics, this restoration?
The painting was damaged, therefore it had to be fixed.
So 2 paintings have been damaged.
So, I'm sorry, Nicole, just clarification. We
I don't
damaged
know.
it or
I
was
don't
it?
know. I just know it was damaged and it needed to be fixed.
That wouldn't be a restoration though, that would be a repair.
Well, repair
Yes,
and
please.
restoration is.
I'd like to see the invoice and the work that was done on it.
Now, I have a general question, going forward when it comes to our bills. When it comes to reimbursement, for employees, I don't know if there's a policy, and at some point, we do have a proper policy and personnel committee. I would like to, ask them to create a policy that gives in a certain amount of time that is required for expense reimbursement. I don't know if there is already, because I've never been privy to anything, but looking at this, I would like to make sure that we are following, just like any other company, that we are following reimbursement, policies properly within a certain amount of days so that we are not dragging our feet to reimburse anyone or, not accounting for them in the budget.
That was already, that was recent.
Do we have a policy?
No, there's a paper upstairs you have to fill out and you have to give your receipt to prove it.
But a policy is not a bad idea.
No, but I was like a month ago when I bought the paper.
Oh, no, I'm not suggesting that it wouldn't be on here. I'm suggesting that it's something in the future we may want to account for.
And also with the education wise, when it comes to the education of the firefighters, I'm gonna put that in your hands, Tommy. Approving, but when it comes to other large educational expenditures, I think that should be run by the board before we put out, it should be pre-approved by the board before we do the expenditure.
I mean, even if it's not in stone, I would welcome knowing, the direction you want to move in things that are appealing. Because, I'm sure that we've considered this, chief, the possibility of partnering with some of our other local partners to expand that opportunity for training and maybe share the costs with them for some trainings.
So in past practices, we've done that, we have something come in, depending on if it's a driving district, for example. The other departments do chip in and we all split the cost of that training.
I love that.
And or what we used to do is we would pick a month that we would do training, one or two would pick a month that they would do, or West Hampton would pick a month, and they were responsible for paying for the training for all of us.
Nice.
So it balanced out in the end, no one department was paying for the training.
I love that. Thank you.
All right, any other questions in the bill? So,
So
I don't want to cut anybody off. So we're the third one down, the Charlie Dickinson, we're removing from the list. Partner restoration until we see a little more information on the invoice. Pipe Construction LLC, again, I have no,
January and February and sort of.
because I want to see what $5,000 about.
Are you going to allow these to go out if you are satisfied with what they are, or does it have to wait until it comes back to next month's meeting for approval?
Mike, please stop mumbling.
That's not really fair to the vendors if the invoices are valid.
I can't speak for you, but I'm perfectly content to have them go on to next month when we were deliberately withholding payment from American Water.
To address that, in going over some of the year-end things, I was finding that many of American Water bills are higher than they should have been. So that very well could have been part of the reason why they were being held. Right now, I am looking at about $35,000 to possibly $50,000 that we've overcharged.
And these are for when?
These are for 2025.
What months of 2025?
Oh, well, the bills don't come in clear. So it appears that they're previous, like past due bills. So they're not really clear as to what they are. But in going over the entire year and looking at it as an overall picture, we are supposed to be paying hydrant, how many hydrants we have times a rate. And when I looked back, I verified my facts that over the many, many years I have been doing this, the monthly charge is exactly the same every single month. And there were 2 or 3 months, and it's just been varying. They're not off by too much, but 2 of them were significantly larger. And I assumed that it was just that they were overdue bills and they were giving us a bill for the full amount. So like I said, in looking at the whole picture and looking at it
X number times 12, it's significantly more, so I am looking into that.
Can I ask, when did you begin looking into that?
As I was preparing the year-end stuff.
Okay, and I asked because several times during the course of last year, I asked about those water bills. I implied that it was possible that the MUA were filling trucks from them and that we were still paying, we were potentially paying for that. And I was assured at the time that those bills were standard and everything was as it should be.
Because as they were coming through, they appeared to be overdue bills that were accumulating because their bills are not, they just don't give you details. It's just a number on the invoice.
So we've consistently had overdue bills with American Water.
Yes and no.
Okay, well then in that case, again, because we've been consistently behind with American Water, I'm perfectly content to let these wait until next month after they've been reviewed, is my position.
Yeah, the three, I don't think we have a choice.
I agree.
No,
We're not gonna have a meeting before then, so.
And, Chairman, I would say that I understand that a small business, they need to be paid, but unless it is in our contract that there's so many days that they need to be produced, once there's a PO, I don't believe that it is necessary to do. As someone who knows contracts.
All right, I'll make it.
I'm moving the podium so we can see. I asked the officer if it was okay. He said yes.
Thank you, Mike.
So we're gonna remove from the bill list, the Charlie Dickinson for 1818, the Parker Art and Illustration Studio for 1600, and the pipe construction for 458850.
I'll hold certain bills and immediate late fees.
I'm willing to pay a small late fee to get information.
Sometimes they're not small, I'm just gonna get out.
Is that something you said to the director when you withheld American Water?
I knew what was going on, he told us, he said that he was doing that.
Not to the board. Thank you.
We'll get more.
So I'll make a motion that we pull from the bill list, the reimbursement for Jason Carney for Farley Dickinson training in the amount of $1,818. Parker Art and Restoration Studios for the amount of $1,600. And Pipe Construction LLC for January, February, and snow removal in the amount of $4,588.50. Can I have a second?
I'll second that. Move in second with the roll call. Oh, I'm sorry, yes, good roll call. Forgot that I do the roll call now. Okay, we're gonna go in order here. June?
No.
Rosemarie?
Yes.
Nicole?
No.
The Shepherd?
Yes.
I'll vote yes. All right, so the bills are paid with those three exceptions, Rita?
If you approve them, they will go out.
I said they're approved with those three exceptions.
Oh, we have to do that. No. So we have to vote that too as well. So
I'm sorry.
we were just voting to pull those, were we not?
Well, pull them and pay them at the same time. Unless you have a problem with that.
Well, no, because then, okay, yeah, that's fine, that's fine. I'm sorry, I misunderstood. I just want to make sure that everyone else is getting paid.
Yep. I'll make some notes so I can. Okay, resolution 20, I'm sorry.
Can I just?
Yes, sir.
Just so everybody's clear with the American Water, you should be getting 3 bills. You'll get one for good intent for the water usage for the actual building. You should get one for relief for your clients for your building usage. Your bigger one is gonna be the one you get. That's your hydrant rentals and maintenance for all of the 5 items throughout the town. I don't want everybody thinking that the building is tied into that. They're totally separate bills. So you should get 3 bills from American Water.
Okay.
So they can actually be quantified that way on the bill.
They should.
Okay.
No, they're totally separate bills.
Yeah.
I'm questioning the fire hydrant ones.
Yeah, I think, we need to set up a meeting, and set up, let, other commissioners know if they want to potentially participate.
Yeah.
But we need to set up a meeting with the jury.
It's my understanding that when Jason was here, he requested a meeting with them and was not able to get one. I have an email for this particular lady. I'm going to start off that way. If we can, I will ask to have a meeting in this email, and hopefully that will be the case. But
If you're not getting anywhere, please let me know.
I certainly will.
And I will remind you, at the time, I was not comfortable participating in person and made multiple requests to have accommodations made so that we could proceed with the business of the district without me having to be physically present, and I was denied that opportunity. So it's not that I'm not interested in doing the business of the district. Is that I am interested in feeling safe, comfortable, and able to do the business where I focus on just the business. And I am hopeful as well that accommodations can be made so that we can work together to the best interest of the district.
We paid the bills. Resolution authorizing a shared service agreement between the Holland Fire District Number 1 and the East Salem Fire District for Technology Coordinated Service. We had a peek at this, I believe, last month. Sorry. And the month before. I believe in the short term, it's a necessary agreement because they do maintain our website and maintain our records. Which also gives us time to, if we do want to make changes, it gives us the opportunity to search for and look for another alternative in a rational and thoughtful manner. At least that's my opinion. Anybody have any comments, questions about the resolution?
Do we need a motion on the floor before we discuss it?
I'll entertain a motion so we can discuss it.
I'll second, bring it on the floor.
Motion by Nicole. Second, Rosemary. Okay. Open for discussion?
Just that I understand it's the same as it was previously, and my only issue with it is that the ongoing gatekeeping of services in this department or in this district did keep me from requesting things that I thought were necessary at the time as secretary that were not responded to positively due to the fact that I was not the director or the chairman. And I felt like I was being gate-kept. And Shams IT did allow that as well and was very strict with it. So going forward, as long as we are not gatekeeping services, then I believe it's something that we can consider.
I know that the contract that was put forward, or the agreement that was put forward, does limit the number of hours that this person would be acting on our behalf for IT services. I know that you and I briefly touched on, since their website looks beautiful, if he's actually the one who's responsible for that, I'd like to have, him moving forward towards accomplishing that for us, if that can be structured. I would like some sort of accountability for those hours that we're paying for. If we could potentially get a weekly and or monthly breakdown of how those number of hours per month were spent in the service of Mount Holly, I think I would feel much more comfortable. I understand that we have an abundance of open requests because we have very interested community, and I thank you all for that. But ultimately, those would just be reported back to whomever our custodian of records currently is, right? So the open request we forwarded on, its question of pulling that, I don't imagine that's accomplishing all the hours that we're currently compensating for. So I'd like to take a look at where we are deficient in other ways. I know that Chief and Greg are working their way through some of the other keys and things like that. I would like to know exactly what Isham is responsible for as far as IT. I'm under the impression they handle uploads to our website and the management of our email and the key access. I don't know what other services they afford us. So if we could potentially have a working meeting to discuss what exactly we need, and I mean, obviously things are missing from our website, and that's an administrative oversight because it's my understanding that some of those paper documents are unable to be located in order to be uploaded. So as I mentioned at our last discussion, I'm curious if what we're getting here is not a lack of desire from our vendor, but a lack of, pursuit from us in giving them the information that we would like to see represented and being clearer about the ways we would like them to be illustrated on our behalf. And if we're moving in that direction under the auspices of this agreement, and we can commit to getting a monthly report at a minimum of how those hours were spent and actual tangible things we can see to quantify that work, I'm perfectly comfortable moving forward.
All right, so we do have a motion and a second on the floor. I'm going to call the roll. June?
Yes.
Rosemarie?
Yes.
Nicole?
Yes.
Gina?
Yes.
Myself, yes. So resolution 2026-15 is passed. Resolution 2023-13, resolution authorizing a contract for auditing services. This is with the same auditor that we've had previously. In my personal opinion, I call it Skip, so Gerwin, this is brilliant. Yeah. I think he did a yeoman's job getting us through the budget process with DCA. Based on that alone, he almost deserves to be reappointed. At least that's my opinion. So I'm going to entertain a motion for resolution 2026-13.
I'll motion to bring it to the floor.
I'll second.
I do have questions regarding it. Do we know if this is the same amount as last year, or was there any percentage increase?
It's very, I don't know if it's exact, but it's very close.
It's very close, and it's under 17.5. I don't think this even says.
Well, and I provided the letter, his full proposal to everybody. And I think he actually sent in the letter that he estimated the amount to be 12,000 change.
Less than. Okay. Thank you.
Yes. You made the second one. All right, moved and seconded. Question, additional question.
So again, I share your accolades for Skip's ability to navigate the end of this process. I fear that it may not have been necessary had we had more administrative communication. I asked early in November when it would be available to be viewed and was told that when any changes would be available to be viewed, and was informed that no changes had yet been made because the director and Rita had yet to meet. I was then not presented a copy of that budget until such a time as we were expected to vote on it. And that has been historically my experience here. So as we move into this new year and move into embracing perhaps a spirit of transparency and collegiate behavior, I would very much welcome starting this process significantly earlier than we have in the past, especially considering that it is, to my understanding, unusual for this body that we vote on our budget in December, which is the meeting at which we would be swearing in any brand new board member who would have had no way of knowing what that budget is. So it would be absolutely irresponsible for them to cast a vote in one direction or the other. They don't have the time or the inclination to become familiar with it. So I wonder if that isn't something we can address in the interim during the course of the year to see if there's another way to do that. Perhaps we have our December meeting where we reorganize and then 2 weeks later have our budget meeting, right? So that that person can have time to familiarize themselves and offer any amendments that might want to be considered, and it might give the rest of us the opportunity to do the same. I mean, if you're willing to commit to at least a discussion of that nature, I'm comfortable.
Well, and I would actually like to start the budget process much earlier. Obviously, by the time I came in, it was,
Right.
late.
It's like here's the budget.
Right, but I would like to have actually a work session.
Yes.
Just, have a work session with all of the commissioners. It'll be open to the public is not allowed to comment during a work session.
Starts off with the finance committee.
Right, the finance committee would put the initial thing together, but then it would be discussed by the board. So, yeah, I would like to do that,
Yes, I wholeheartedly endorse.
So absolutely.
I would absolutely love to provide you with my request for a work session, with the public as a finance committee member last year.
Thank you. Okay, do we have any other comments, questions on resolution 2026-13? I'll call the roll. June?
Yes.
Rosemary?
I would abstain.
Nicole?
Yes.
Tina?
Yes.
I'll vote yes. Resolution 2026-13 is passed. Resolution 2026-14, resolution authorizing a session to discuss personal matters and matters protected by attorney-client privilege. I'll make the motion on that.
I'll second.
Call the roll. June?
Yes.
Rosemary?
Yes.
Nicole?
Yes.
Tina?
Yes.
I'll vote yes. So resolution 2026-14 is passed. Action may be taken after the, hopefully it's not an extremely long one, but action may be taken at the conclusion of the executive session. We will, at a minimum, come back into open session for adjournment. Okay. All right. We'll see you in a little bit. Thank you.
Oh, it's only 10 o'clock.
I want another one of them. Make a motion that I get myself a candy cane.
Only.
I second it.
Ho, ho, ho!
You better brought presents if you're gonna say that.
I mean, I'm looking at you, Elf man.
I'm not Elf this year. I got fired.
All right, well, you know.
Elf was not invited back.
Next year's for now. I can see it as a debt for giving up. And in worst case scenario, you can become a dentist.
There you go.
Okay, great. Thank you.
I don't know where Lewis went.
We're gonna reconvene at approximately 10:15, maybe 2 minutes earlier, but 10:15 is the latest.
Come on.
Hope you turn your camera off and see if we still.
I did earlier. It overheated for a minute. My wife was like, "Your camera turned off." Like, why not?
What did it look like?
That was really fun. He was fun. You can just see glorious text.
Does it get posted up there? Can you, like, watch it
It's
on
live, yeah.
YouTube or something?
Yeah.
Hey, Marie, can we open the water?
Okay. Before we go, make a copy. Well, do me a favor, make a copy. Why won't this be the board?
For the public comment. Oh, Facebook comment. I muted it. Right, I got that. Yeah. Oh, the key parts
Okay. All right, we're gonna come back to the public session. We do have one potential action item. Do we have a motion to go back into public session?
Yes.
Second.
Moved and seconded, all in favor?
Yes.
We do have one action item, potential action item we're working on, it's resolution 2026-16. Everyone knows, this is an ongoing investigation, and we're introducing this resolution on the recommendation of our special legal counsel, Martin McKay. Resolution terminating Fire Director Jason Carty. Whereas Jason Carty was appointed by the Mount Holly Fire District Board of Fire Commissioners, hereinafter the board, as the Fire Director for the Mount Holly Fire District, by virtue of resolution 2025-048-1 on September 19, 2025. And whereas the board authorized an independent investigation into allegations of misconduct by Jason Cardy, and whereas Jason Cardy was afforded a full and fair opportunity to respond to the allegations, so that the board could consider his responses before any decision regarding his employment status was made. And now, therefore, be it resolved, the Board of Fire Commissioners of the Fire District Number 1, Township of Mount Holly, County of Burlington, New Jersey, as follows. Jason Cardy's employment as a fire director is terminated effective March 4th, 2026. The board will comply with any applicable severance provisions contained in Jason Cardy's employment agreement. The board shall promptly provide Jason Cardy with notice of the board's decision regarding his termination from employment, and a record of the board's decision will be maintained in Jason Cardy's permanent personnel file. Be it further resolved that this resolution shall be effective immediately according to law, and be it further resolved that the original, signed, conformed, and compared copy of this resolution be accessible and maintained as an official board record pursuant to and in accordance with the Open Public Meeting Act, NJSA 47:1A-1, and the Destruction of Public Records Law 1953, NJSA 47:3-8.1, as set forth by the State of New Jersey Municipal Agency Record Retention Schedule promulgated by the Division of Archives and Record Management. We have a motion to, on this resolution.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, I will call the roll. Ms. Gaskell? Yeah, should. Thank you. Rosemary?
Yes.
Ms. Shepherd?
Recused.
And Ms. Osier?
No.
And I'm also recused. The motion, the resolution does not pass. I don't think we have any further business. I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Wait, what?
All in favor?
No, I don't want to, no. No. I don't understand what we're doing, y'all. We came down here, we read a resolution that was recommended to us by council we have spent tens of thousands of dollars on. And we're doing this with most of this body unable to discuss it because they're conflicted out. And you all should be ashamed of yourselves. All of you. Like this, you're right. You're absolutely right. Thank you. Let's stay. Let's be done.
Nicole's a terrible person. It's okay.
Pure evil. Since there might be some contention on it, we're going to call the roll for dismissal. Not dismissal, but ending the meeting. June?
Yeah.
Ms. Logue?
Doesn't matter. Y'all do whatever you damn well please anyway.
Yourself here?
Shepherd, I'll tell you what, he comes back and starts wrestling, it's gonna be a problem. Yep.
And I'll vote yes.
Lawyers warned you. I'm not long with it, bro.
He just wasted $10,000.
Lawyers warned you, trust me.
I'm the call the news.
Is it the same kind of meetings hours like you did?
I will be, filing charges.
Oh, yeah.
So Mrs. Gaskell, I guess now that the meeting's over, you don't need to meet in the kitchen with Kelly and her husband to show them the resolution. Show them the resolution before we ever even voted on it, right?
Yeah.
Right? Cool.
Yeah, before you start hollering about my wife eating in the kitchen, I was in there.
I
before she
listened
did
to the whole
deal.
thing, George.
Like discussing.
Listen down, George.
Sorry,
Hey, you broke the executive 5 seconds out of we're in the office.
Oh, yeah.
You're standing there reading the resolution. I'm not blind or stupid. Oh, I know, Kelly, I know. Nothing was being read to you. Right, I listened to you before I walked up to the door. So stand there and say anything you like, but you're a liar.
We need to record everything, because everybody lies.
Folks, I don't know what to tell you. Okay, our lawyers gave us a recommendation. We've decided not to follow it. I'm assuming they'll have guidance for us about what that looks like moving forward. I don't know what it means, folks. I'm gonna encourage you to, I don't know. I don't even know how to encourage you at this point. God willing, we'll have one, but then we'll ignore him too, like we've done the last several. I will do my best to serve you people, but I have mentioned many times I have zero authority by myself. And the people on this board seem less than inclined to follow the advice of our solicitors and the laws of the state of New Jersey. Thank you for attending.
Oh, my soda, thank you.
Gosh. I'm not worried about her. I know.
Oh, we're all eating in the kitchen.
Yep.
I didn't stop.
Does that mean he's back?
Shame on you. He'll be back, he's done with you.
I trust you. You're doing a great job.
Slow it down a little bit more. What? What? I can't voice my opinion? No, you're intimidating. I'm not intimidating her. I said, shut up. And then you stared her down. Because I looked okay. Oh, good job, Nicole. Keep working. Piece of work. Big thumbs up. Find out right.